What's going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and I wanted to bring you some Rush gameplay. Now, this is actually on the PS3. I hopped on the other night with the NGT crew, and I know that I haven't really brought you guys too much in the way of full gameplay. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first being that I've actually been tied up with some real-life stuff, work changes, and that sort of thing that have kept me from gaming all that much recently, but also because I've been on the PC, I've been playing a lot of Conquest. So what I'm going to do is bring you some tips and tricks that I've found to be effective in playing Conquest. It'll be more applicable to the PC, but I've been using a lot of the heavy armor, the tanks and that sort of thing, in order to counter enemy vehicles, capture flags, that sort of thing. So, you know, I will put a video together for you. I know that some of you have asked for some vehicle gameplay, so I'm going to bring it to you. But when it comes to Rush, I know that many folks like to see Rush, like to see my tactics, and the reality is that I'm still just getting to know the maps. I haven't played much Rush on the PC, just a little bit. So, actually right here, I'm going to talk briefly about this first base. We sprinted right to the objectives, and then I laid back a little bit and tried to support my team as they armed it and took it down. And right now, while defensive teams don't know the maps all that well, or they're just getting to know them, as long as you're running with a squad and you're sort of staying in touch and making sure that somebody keeps themselves alive, then you're pretty much able to brute force it. You can sprint towards objectives and get the job done. So there's not much in the way of sort of fancy tactics to get there. I'm going to talk about a few things that that I do in this game that help us win, although, you know, regardless of whether or not I did them, I think we would have won anyway. So, you know, it's kind of tough to break these things down into the tactics. But what I want to point out here is we're playing Rush. It is Grand Bazaar. And on the second base, once you take the first set of objectives, you really want to focus to try and secure the A MCOM station first on this second base. We actually wound up defending, and we actually did get pushed back. But what can happen is the defenders can really hunker down in these corridors leading into the objective, and you are going to have a hell of a time dislodging them. So, much like I've talked about in other maps in the past, when there are two MCOM stations and one's more difficult, you want to focus on the more difficult one first. Well, I think this is the tougher one to get. Just my opinion, but I think there's you know, a wider opportunity to approach the other MCOM from the back, where you don't have to go through these choke points. So there's basically only 3 entrances to get at the MCOM station. A good defensive team is going to hole up in there, and they're going to keep you out. So you want to make sure that their focus is spread out. And back there in the hallway, you see me laying down. That's because I'm always paying attention to my my squad in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Now, I'm playing with Spiderbite, Bentley, and Hypermole, and these guys are really aggressive. So when your squad is playing very aggressively, you want to keep an eye there to see that you have somebody up at all times. And if you're down 1 or 2 players, it's best to lay back until a squad member can spawn on you so that you have reinforcements. Because the last thing you want is for the entire squad to get wiped out, leaving you sprinting back in from your deployment. So right here, we're going to work to get this crate armed, and you're going to see me use quite a bit of rocket spam in this as well. And the nature of the way that this game is played, you're going to find that a lot of players are going to hide out, you know, sort of lay prone, crawl behind cover, crawl to the side of a doorway, and just pop out and shoot people, crawl back. And obviously, you know, gun on gun doesn't work in that situation. So RPG, the RPG or SMA has become effective to clear out infantry from inside rooms. Not something that I was a huge fan of in Bad Company 2, RPG on infantry, but you kind of have to adapt to the game, and that's the way that this game is played. So, unfortunately, yeah, you're going to see me RPGing some infantry, and the other benefit that serves is if they have like a mobile spawn point on a radio beacon planted in a room, then you'll destroy that as well and clean them out of there permanently. So it is what it is, guys. Sorry, it's a bit of a shitty tactic, but it's what works. So right here, the entire team was trying to push up through the narrow corridor, and there's actually, here again, I'm going to see we're 2 down, so I'm going to spawn just to make sure that they're healthy in that alleyway. They're approaching through a choke point, and so what I want to do is be less aggressive than they are being, and flank out to the outside and try and approach this MCOM station to the back. But what I'm going to do here is adjust my route and come back through this corridor. It's much easier to clean out the defenders from this corridor, which, you know, they're going to shoot your teammates in the side as they try and approach through this choke point. So I'm actually going to come in here and clean out the one defender who's waiting for them. I'm going to chuck a nade, but I'm not going to go through there. I'm going to attempt to double back. Unfortunately, I get taken out, but luckily, I think it's Bentley's going to pick me back up. So, you know, we're still healthy. I'm going to accept the revive. I don't want to go through that choke point. I'm going to, again, double back outside and try and support them from the side, from the flank, so that they can advance through that corridor and get the crate armed, because, you know, we have to establish control of this area. Yeah, you probably could have sprinted at it and armed it a lot of times, but that's not typically how I play, and if I'm with a strong team, then I'll go explore the map for alternate routes and that sort of thing, which is why I don't have a lot of beast gameplay to bring you. The team's getting it done by taking a very direct approach, and I'm sort of left off on my own, looking for a route. Yeah, so some of these games aren't that interesting, but this was pretty good, and you know, there were a couple of issues that I could address in order to make this somewhat of a decent video. So here you go. And as soon as you take a base, one thing that is a lot more prevalent here, especially where you have radio beacons and that sort of thing, the enemies have the ability to linger in your base after you secure it. So you want to make sure to take your time and clear it out, and you'll see after one of these bases, they knock us down 10 tickets before we're able to move. You really have to watch out for that. Now, I'm actually going to rush the B objective here. I think it's probably actually the easier of the two to get, but you know, I want to try and establish a position as well behind the A objective, because there's really only two ways you can approach that. There's through a corridor directly at the objective, or around the right-hand side, sorry, the left-hand side from the attacker's perspective that you just saw me take. And I actually looped up and went up over the overpass because I didn't want to run at the objective on street level. I'm just too easy of a target there. So I did take the high ground. I managed to get at the objective. Took my time before I started rushing down the stairs. There was a defender there, and I cleaned them up. So what I'm doing right now is I have it armed. I'm going to defend this, and then once I take down this crate, we had actually defended this previously, and I'm probably going to bring you that defensive game because it was actually pretty good. We got pushed back a little bit, pushed around a little bit, and managed to dig our heels in and finish the game off. But anyway, I'm going to maintain a position over here for two reasons. I'm going to be a mobile spawn point for the team. They're going to attack the A crate from the back, so that we're not trying to push through choke points and we're not that easy to cut off. And I'm going to sit here and be the cutoff person so the fresh reinforcements coming out of the defender's spawn can't basically attack my teammates from behind. So never want to get taken from behind, guys. Never. Anyway, I managed to get 3 or 4 down, and you know, at this point the team has it free and clear. They go in and get the objective. So now we're off to the last base, and as you can see, we're at like 70 tickets already. Right there, I didn't actually want to switch to the RPG, but turned out I went mutual with the guy. So anyway, another dirty tactic, dirty RPG, but we're going to spawn in and just try and blast them out of there. I wanted to make sure, you want to make sure they don't have any mobile spawn points, radio beacons. Those do disappear when you move bases, but if they wait until afterwards, I haven't checked to see if there's an out-of-bounds zone for radio beacons, but back in the beta, you know, you could plant them back in the defender spawn, or in the attacker's spawn, and create huge problems. So, you know, I just wanted to make sure we're all clear, and we are, but we're already down 14 tickets right now. So, you know, they've done a good job of suppressing us before we're able to even launch an attack. So, I know that there are defenders waiting for us up this stairway. It's a bit of a choke point, but that's okay. I want to try and keep them occupied because the rest of the squad is actually trying to move and get some objectives planted. So, the more defenders you can tie up, you know, one role that you can play in playing the objective is to be a pain in the ass for the defenders, so that they are more focused on what you are doing and your team's able to go in unscathed and take an MCOM station. So you'll see how that wasn't a squad mate, but it was a teammate, and I'm kind of going 1-2 with that teammate. He goes first, I wait to see that the coast is clear, and then, you know, once he posts up, I'm going to move ahead of him. Now, I'm going to finish this game with an epic fail. It is on PS3. I suck with the PS3 controller. I have these two guys. It should have been a double kill. Nope, run out of ammo, completely whiff, and they're going to take me down. Luckily, good team. We're going to hold this down and take down the win. Hope you enjoyed this game, guys. I'm going to be playing more on PS3 for Rush, and I will be bringing you lots more gameplay. So, you know, check it out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. You can also check out my channel for more Battlefield 3 content. Links in the description. Appreciate it as always. Cheers. We'll talk soon.
Did you like this video? If you did, check out a couple of these here on the left on NGT Games, started by me, Wagon, and myself. We're finishing up playthrough 1 on Borderlands, a co-op campaign. We're about to head over to the second playthrough, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. And on the right, on NGT Zombies, started by me, Wagon, and myself, we're playing a little Kino Dare Totin' for a change, and guess what? There's a new perk in town. It's called Mule Kick, so be sure to check that out on NGT Zombies. Be sure to click the corresponding thumbnails, watch the videos, and be sure to subscribe to NGT Games and NGT Zombies for more videos.